वनचारी यमुना तीर वनचारी यमुना तीर वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जय प्रभुपाद की जय हो। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयामुदीरये नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमा श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानं जनाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वप्नदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथावितां तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखावितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत श्री राधा कांत नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी श्री राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितनं पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जय प्रभुपाद की जय हो। Today I am doing Shri Bhakti Vinod Thakur song Keno Hare Krishna Naam Hari Bole. Sometime Mataji, please share the file. हरे कृष्णा। श्री भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जय हो। केनो हरे कृष्ण नाम हरि बोले मनो प्राण कांदेना। केनो हरे कृष्ण नाम हरि बोले मनो प्राण कांदेना। पाखी न जाने कौन अपराधे पाखी न जाने कौन अपराधे मुखे हरे कृष्ण नाम बोलो ना। हरे कृष्ण नाम बोलो ना। केनो हरे कृष्ण नाम हरि बोले मनो प्राण कांदेना। बनेर पाखी रे भूखे रखला हृदय मंदिरे बनेर पाखी रे धरे रखला हृदय मंदिरे मधुमखाए हरि नाम पाखी रे शिखायले शिखे पाखी रे शिखायले शिखे केनो हरे कृष्ण नाम हरि बोले मनु प्राण कांदेना पाखी सकल नाम बोलते पारो पाखी सकल नाम बोलते पारो केनो हरे कृष्ण नाम बोलो ना हरे कृष्ण नाम बोले ना केनो हरे कृष्ण नाम हरि बोले मनु प्राण कांदेना चलो पाखी रूपे देशे जाई जे देशेते मानेर माणूस आशा जाऊया नाही आशा जाऊया नाही केनो हरे कृष्ण नाम हरि बोले मनो प्राण कांदेना केनो हरे कृष्ण नाम हरि बोले मनो प्राण कांदेना पाखिरे तोर मरण काले ते चार बिवासेर डोलते ओरे चार जनी ते कांदे कोरे लोय जाबे स्मशान घाटे ते लई जाबे स्मशान घाटे ते केनो हरे कृष्ण नाम हरि बोले मनो प्राण कांदेना ओरे ओ तोर मुखे आगुन जीवे तुले ओरे ओ तोर मुखे आगुन जीवे तुले की करो बिना की करो बीताई बोलो ना की करो बीताई बोलो ना केनो हरे कृष्ण नाम हरि बोले मनु प्राण कांदेना केनो हरे कृष्ण नाम हरि बोले मनो प्राण कांदेना हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे श्री प्रभुपाद की जय हो श्री भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जय हो ट्रांसलेशन Oh, why does my heart not weep from chanting the holy name Hare Krishna? The bird of my heart does not know what past sinful activities it has committed to cause this inability to chant Hare Krishna properly. O forest bird, I have kept something for you very carefully within the cottage of my heart, the holy name of Hari, which is overflowing with pure sweet honey. O bird, you could learn the chanting of this name if you were taught. A bird is easily able to speak all names. Why then does this bird of my heart refuse to chant Hare Krishna? Oh, why does my heart not weep from chanting the holy name of Hare Krishna? O bird, come let us go to the spiritual world, the land of true and everlasting beauty. It is the place where the imaginary man of mind will never again come and go on the revolving cycle of birth and death. O bird, at the time of death, your body will simply be placed upon a funeral stretcher, lifted on the shoulder of four persons and carried to the cremation grounds. Alas, the cremation fire will enter your mouth and then totally consume your tongue. There will be nothing you can do to save yourself. For that time it is too late. You will be unable to speak anything. So be chant and be happy. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। थैंक यू प्रभु जी फॉर सो वंडरफुल सेवा। दंडवत प्रणाम टू ऑल डिवोटीज। दंडवत प्रणाम प्रभु जी।
हाँ जी प्रभु।
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam Prabhu. So please accept my humble obeisances to all the devotees. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. We'll do the Mangalacharan. Then we'll go for the recap. Who is doing the recap? I'm not sure. Prabhu.
Shamta Mata ji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Samtama. Okay. First we'll do the Mangalacharan. Then I'll hand it to you, Samta Mataji. ॐ अज्ञानतिमरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदाङ्कितं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवां च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सगुणरघुनाथान्वितं तं च जीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादां सगुणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितां च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमस्तुते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुस्तुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नीलाचलनिवासाय नित्याय परमात्मने बलभद्रसुभद्राय जगन्नाथाय इति नामिने नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमती भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Thank you all. Thank you so much for joining this most auspicious advanced Bhagavatam class. With this note, I will hand over to Samata Mataji. Over to you, Mataji. Haribol.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam. Dandavat Pranam to all. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. So, in the last class, we did chapter 88, which covered two important parts. The devotees of Lord Vishnu, how, what are the consequences, or what does one get by worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, and by worshipping other deities. So that was explained in detail in part 1. And in part 2, we see the story of this demon Virkasura. So let us dive into chapter 88, which is lesson 134, which Rajiv Prabhuji did very beautifully in the last class. So the question is always asked that why should I worship Lord Krishna? And wherein the worship or devotion to other deities, it leads to a lot of material opulence. But worship to Lord Vishnu or Lord Krishna is gives one suffering and challenging circumstances. So this is a debate that has always been going on. So we will see this verse by verse. So the important key points that were taken is the outcomes of worshipping Lord Krishna compared to other deities like Lord Shiva and Lord Ganesha and other deities. Um, then the nature of material world and ego, the transcendence of Lord Vishnu, the divine favor and suffering, whether it is favorable or no, dangers of material success and divine favor and suffering. So these were the key points that were covered. So we'll discuss this one by one. The first one, the contrasting outcomes of worshipping Lord Krishna. So can anybody highlight on that? How,
Hare
Krishna.
what could be?
Hare
Yes,
Krishna Mataji.
Mataji, then Ratna.
No, go ahead, Mataji.
Yes,
Hare
Rajkumari Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Worship and our devotion towards Lord Hari, Lord Krishna gives liberation, and it is
Yes,
permanent. And while worshipping other deities, the individual get material pleasure, but they are temporary.
correct.
So,
Yes. Thank you, Mataji. Very nicely explained. Prasad Prabhuji, would you want to elaborate
Hare
more
Krishna.
on that?
Yeah. Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Okay, Lord Vishnu or Krishna, who is our eternal Father, he will see our long-term benefit, Mataji, not
Yeah.
short-term benefit. So
Mm.
ultimately, he sees how we become close to him. Okay, not just
Mm.
today, tomorrow, just sense enjoyment. He will not see that.
Yeah.
So that is where he want all of us. That is the reason. He doesn't focus on the material satisfaction. He may fulfill in case if that is really need and that is blocking for me and Krishna. Okay,
Yeah.
then he will remove that. Yeah.
Yes.
माता जी एक बहुत अच्छा पॉइंट मुझे आया था माइंड में रियलाइज हुआ था कि
जी।
देवता जब भी हमें जो भी मटेरियल गेन का बूंद देते हैं मगर वो भी एक पर्पस है उसके पीछे क्योंकि अगर वो भी थोड़े टाइम में हमारी मिजरी बनता है तो बारंबार मिजरी को फेस करने के बाद हमें कुछ रियलाइज हो के ये क्यों हो रहा है ऐसा कि
Correct.
तो फिर हम भगवान की तरफ मुड़ सकते हैं दिस इज ऑल्सो वन पर्पस कि तो वो टेम्पररी है उनका रिजल्ट कि बार बार मिजरी फेस करने के बाद हमें मालूम पड़ता है कि ये बार बार ऐसे क्यों हो रहा है हमारे साथ तो
जी।
हम सोच सके थोड़ा हरे कृष्ण
Yes. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, Prasad Prabhuji. Very nicely explained. All wonderful points. So,
one more point, Mataji.
yes, Mataji.
Huh. One more point,
Ye-
Mataji. Worshipping, we get reward while worshipping the deities, whether it is fruitful for us, whether it is good or bad, but we get. And in the case of Lord Hari, we get the rewards only, which is better, best for us.
Correct. Yes, very nicely put. Thank you, Mataji.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Mother.
So,
Can you hear me?
yes, Prabhuji. Yes.
So yeah, just now we completed 87 the Vedas glorification of Lord, and Vedas also Bhagavad Gita it says that the flowery language of Veda which should go beyond that, right? So immediately after that 87 this particular chapter is coming as Mataji Prabhuji is talking about. It is a essence of everything. Like all we are confused the 330 crore devtas, right? So we all so this puts it again, this is emphasis all through Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, differentiating whom to call God and whom not to worship, because this is very important. If your faith is in the wrong place, then you go to wrong direction. That's what it says. So this gives a very clear-cut example, like next example we'll see. That is the extreme example, even though worshipping other devatas other than Krishna, how it
Yeah.
leads. So this is I look at it as sequentially, from previous 87 and
Yes.
furthermore are continuing. That's how I see. Thank you, Mother. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. So very nicely explained. Very nice points given by all of us. So in short, Lord Krishna, Lord Shiva is basically tied to the material realm. So the boons that he will give will benefit in the material world, which is finally going to go away. It is fleeting. But worship to Lord Krishna gives the highest liberation, a relationship with Him, which will which is the highest spiritual goal. So, hence, what is the outcome of worshipping Krishna? We get come across challenges, circumstances, so that we have to dry up our karmas immediately. So one faces turbulent times, turbulent circumstances, which should be taken as a boon, not as a suffering. So, because very nicely Rajiv Prabhuji explained that how much eager Lord is to meet us. He is more than eager. We also don't know, like he's just waiting for us. So hence he wants to dry up our karmic burdens immediately so that we can come to him. So this is the contrast of worshipping uh, Lord Krishna and worship Lord Hari and the other deities, Lord Shiva. Very important second point is material nature and ego. How should like what is the material nature and what one should be careful of?
Hare
We see
Krishna
in
Mataji.
case. Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, material nature is the material benefits, material pleasures we get, um, and we get that are attached with these three modes, sattva, rajas, and tamas.
Correct. Yes. Yes, Mataji. And
Yes,
then once you get entrapped in this, you develop material ego, which is
yeah,
very harmful.
harmful
So
and agonies.
how does material ego entrap an individual?
It traps with this endless cycle of birth, death, and rebirth,
Yes,
and material existence, intricacies
correct.
of material.
Yeah. Thank you, Mataji. So we go ahead to point 3.
वो
We see
शरीर
that
को ही आत्मा समझ लेता है,
G.
अपने शरीर को ही आत्मा समझ लेता है, इसलिए वो ज्यादा से ज्यादा एंट्रैप होता है.
Yeah.
One more point, Mataji, I would like to mention with my
Yeah.
practical experience. See, even if you go to Lord Shiva or Lord Ganesha and do the
Mm.
selfless service, okay, and
Mm.
pray him without any expectation, okay, they will connect you to Krishna. They will connect you to
Yes,
Krishna.
correct. They will. That is their
Because I don't know
objective.
anything. I don't know anything. I just connected to
Mm.
Devata, but I'm doing
Mm.
selfless service.
Yes. They will connect finally, but then that is a indirect way of coming. So
That is
if
indirect way,
one,
but
yeah,
if somebody doesn't know anything, we don't know Shastra, we're just following our
yeah,
forefathers or
yeah,
whoever we see, then
yeah,
they will, in no time they do
correct.
that. Mother.
Yes, correct. They will always aid us. They will always help us to come to the platform of pure bhakti.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you, Prabhuji, for highlighting that. Then we come to Lord Krishna's transcendence. How is Lord Krishna different from the other deities? And what is his purpose of guiding the individuals? It is mentioned in the third point.
Yeah,
Would
Hare
anybody?
Krishna, Mother. Yeah,
Yes.
so I'll just go ahead with. Yeah, it's a very important point to understand. Just now, we had previous point was how it binds us, and so beyond. Naturally, question comes: is there any who is eternally liberated? We are eternally conditioned, like most of us
Mm.
are conditioned. So this is what it talks about. Brings out the divinity of the Lord. Lord never comes under the modes of three modes of material nature.
Nature,
Doesn't go
correct.
through birth, death, old age, disease, or all temporary thing. So very consequently, from previous point to this point, it shows his transcendence nature. It's a
Yes.
he's beyond us that, and he's the one who can see things as they are, right, and can help us also on that.
Yes. Yes, Prabhuji, nicely put. And what is the highest liberation? What is the genuine liberation? Is union or a personal bond that one should establish with Lord Krishna. That is the highest liberation.
Yes.
And it encourages. So basically, Lord Hari and his devotees encourages Jivatma to follow the highest spiritual truth. Then we come to point 4, divine favor and suffering. How should suffering be taken? As a favor or as a curse?
Hare Krishna Mataji. Divine favor is taken as favor because, sorry, suffering are taken as favor, as boon, because they, by these sufferings and hardships, one can get understand, one can get, one
Divine
can
favor.
understand, and he can. These are the very helpful to seek divine, and
Correct.
connection with God increases. Unity with God increases.
Hmm.
तत्व
Yeah.
जिज्ञासा कर सकते हैं, सेल्फ रियलाइजेशन प्रोसेस में जा सकते हैं.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
They take suffering is also a divine gift only. Everything is
Yeah.
from divine.
Yeah.
I think Mataji
So-
also saying the same.
Yes. So as long
And-
as one is comfortable, one is very comfortable, he would not want to come out of the present situation and think of a higher, higher purpose. Hence, the suffering works as a catalyst. It is through the suffering that one seeks the higher reality and seeks a higher purpose, and then strives for achieving or going on the path of bhakti. So
Yes, ma'am.
hence suffering should be taken as a boon, not as a curse. Point 4, dangers of material success. Should one strive for material success? And should one not strive for material success? If yes, why? If not, why?
should try material for material success side by side for the growth of spiritualism, because the material success is a must while living in sansara and living in grasta, but one should not be attached, not should attach,
Yeah,
try to get
correct.
success but should not be attached.
Correct.
He should give attention to God. He should keep the individual. He should keep the Lord Krishna in the center, and while keeping Lord Krishna, God, in center, he can try for this material success. I think
Correct.
this
Yes,
is.
Mataji. Yeah, very nicely put that you, as long as you utilize your material success for keeping Krishna as the, like, dovetail everything to the service of Lord Krishna, then it is fine. Otherwise, uh, it can breed arrogance and disregard for spiritual obligations, which here, very beautiful point, which comes again and again, which stresses the importance of humility and the acknowledgement of the divine source of one's fortune. Like, from where are this material success, from where it is coming? What is the source? It is coming from Lord Himself. So it should be used in the service of Lord. Otherwise, for personal gain or selfish reasons, one develops arrogance and then leads to downfall. So it's like a two-edged sword, which one should be using it with discernment. Coming to the last point of this particular debate on the devotees or difference between worship of Lord Krishna and other deities, divine favor and suffering. We've just seen this, like how suffering will only enhance one's devotional service. So we conclude that one should be very careful against pride and arrogance, and use material success for uh, leading a life that helps one to uh, leading a life of bhakti. So here are the 3 questions. I would just want one person to read this particular thing in red. This
Hare
text in
Krishna.
red. Yes, Prasad
Shall I
Ramesh.
read, Mataji? Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah. It's a very important point. I think that's the reason you're asking. Yeah. Thank you, Mataji. Let's commit to perceiving our devotion and experiences as not just rituals, but as life-altering opportunities. In doing so, we open ourselves to a journey filled with fulfillment and liberation in the loving embrace of Lord Vishnu. Suffering and hardship can be viewed as catalyst for spiritual growth, fostering resilience, compassion, and a deeper understanding of one's true nature. Devotees may view these challenges as divine tests, which are believed to the opportunities for spiritual growth and a way for the divine to guide them. This reframing encourages individuals to embrace their struggles as part of spiritual journey, ultimately leading them to closer to divine realization and liberation. Haribol.
so in
So
short,
wonderful.
this
Yeah.
whole paragraph has it all, the essence of this particular part of chapter 28. Uh, chapter 88, let's go ahead to this story of the next part of chapter 88, which is the story of Rikasura. Uh, now, can anyone just brief the story of Rikasura very briefly?
Yes,
Raksha Mataji, would
Mataji.
you like to?
Yes, Mataji. Yes. वृकासुर इज द सन ऑफ शकुनी। वो उससे बहुत ही जल्दी से कौन से डेमीगॉड प्लीज होता है वो नारद मुनि से पूछते हैं और नारद मुनि कहते हैं कि शिव जी जो है वो जल्दी से प्लीज हो जाते हैं। तो वो तुरंत ही केदारनाथ जाते हैं और तपस्या शुरू करते हैं। वो भी कैसे तप यज्ञ करते हैं कि अपने मांस शरीर का टुकड़ा डाल डाल के वो आहुति दे देते हैं। बस उसको जल्दी से भगवान को प्लीज करना है, जल्दी से बूंद लेना है। और फिर 7वें दिन वो अपना सर को काटने जा रहे थे, तभी शिव जी जो है आशुतोष से बहुत ही जल्दी प्लीज होते हैं, तुरंत ही अपीयर हो गए यज्ञ में से और बोले कि आपको क्या चाहिए, आपको क्या बूंद चाहिए। तो फिर वो सूर्य बोलता है कि मैं जिसके सर पे मैं हाथ रखूं वो भस्म हो जाए, ऐसा मुझे बूंद दीजिए। फिर शिव जी उनको दे देते हैं, मगर फिर क्या होता है कि वो टेस्ट करने के लिए, और दूसरा भी एक रीजन मैंने कृष्णा बुक में पढ़ा था कि उसने देखा पार्वती जी को, तो उसने उसको लगा कि मैं ये उनको भी ले लूं मेरे साथ। तो वो जो बूंद का था, तो वो टेस्ट करने के लिए तुरंत ही वो शिव जी के पीछे भागने लगे उनके सर पे हाथ रखने के लिए। तो शिव जी जो है वो सारी जगह पे भागे बचने के लिए। और फिर जब भी वो वैकुंठ लोक में गए, तो भगवान ने देखा कि ये क्या हो रहा है। तो फिर तुरंत ही उन्होंने सारी सिचुएशन अपने हाथ में ले ली और वक्रासुर को इस तरह से वो गुरु बन गए और वो स्टूडेंट बन गया वक्रासुर। और उसको ऐसे सिखाने लगे कि वो जैसे तैसे करके वो अपने हाथ पे ही रख दिया उसने, और तुरंत ही वो भस्मीभूत हो गया। तो वैसे
Correct.
करके शिव जी को विष्णु जी ने बचाया, भगवान कृष्णा ने बचाया।
जी।
हरे
भगवान ने
कृष्ण।
बोला वरकासुर को कि शिव जी जो भी बोलते हैं उनकी बातों में क्या, आप उन पे कैसे विश्वास कर सकते हो, पहले टेस्ट तो कर लो, पहले अपने सर पे हाथ तो रखो। तो जैसे रखा तो वो भस्म हो गए। तो दिस इज हाउ ही सेव्ड द, थैंक यू माता जी, वेरी नाइसली यू एक्सप्लेन। सो लेट अस क्विकली सी द की पॉइंट्स of this particular pastime. The nature and power, the nature of power and its consequences. So power, uh, if misused, can lead to one's downfall, can destroy one's own self. So one has to be very careful uh, about power. Like they say that with higher power comes higher responsibility. So one should be keep reminding oneself about the responsibility that he has, rather than misusing, getting tempted by the uh, by the power, because it's a big temptation, so one should use it very carefully. The second point is divine mercy and protection. uh how did, like, what was intention
Okay.
of Lord Shiva to give this boon to Vargasura? Did he like he want him to have the highest power, or why did Lord Shiva give him this boon? Okay,
This is also a mercy of Lord
correct.
only.
Yes.
This is also.
So here it is mentioned very nicely that Lord Shiva's intervention to save Varkasura shows his divine mercy, unparalleled divine mercy. Even before, even though Varkasura was a demon, Lord Shiva, being very compassionate, he demonstrates he gives his mercy to him. Then illusion of ignorance. Why did Varkasura did such a thing? Like, why did he try to test his power on Shivji only? Because of what? What was the cause? Anyone? Harsha Mataji, would you like to say? Radha Vinod Prabhuji.
We wanted Parvati ji, so
Yes. And the cause was his ignorance.
yeah.
He got illusioned because of ignorance, like Varkasura's blindness. His blindness to the irony and inherent danger in his quest of power. It shows ignorance. Like his misguided action stems from a profound misunderstanding of life, death, and consequences of one desire. So when one doesn't know uh, the true uh, reason of life, like what is the use, what should one do in his life, what is the objective of one's life, then you end up making wrong desires, having wrong desires, and then one gets distracted. Okay.
माता जी ऐसे कहते हैं ना कि अनइंटेलिजेंट पर्सन के हाथ में अगर पावर आ गए तो वो ब्लंडर ही करेगा.
Correct.
ऐसे.
Okay, and then the role of faith and devotion. How does faith and devotion here come into the picture? So here they are talking of blind faith. Yes, Radha Vinod Prabhuji. So, somebody said something. Okay, so here they're actually warning against blind faith, that blind faith can be misleading. So here in the dialogue between Varkasura and the Lord, Lord approaches him in the form of a guru, and here it shows the critical nature of faith and devotion. The Supreme Lord's gentle probing leads Varkasura to his downfall. So, revealing the perils of misplaced faith. Varkasura's was basically blinded. He had a blind faith. He wanted power. So it finally led to his downfall. Then moral and ethical accountability. One should follow. Once you get the power, one should follow. It should be on the path of the life should be on the path of the life should be committed to dharma, to righteousness. If that doesn't happen, then again one falls into the trap of the material world, which leads to continuous cycle of birth and death. And nobody is spared. Like even Bhishma Dev, although his life was completely based on dharma, but because he took side of the Kauravas for a wrong thing, so that he also had to pay a price for it. So nobody is spared if one uh, walks the path of adharma, even if it little bit deviates from the path of from the path of dharma. Then transcendence and liberation. What is transcendence and liberation? Am I audible?
To
Because
go,
nobody's.
yes, Mataji, to go
Yes.
behind the material existence, the transcendence and this to beyond this material existence, and for to reach near to get moksha.
Yeah. Basically to
Free
get
from three material mode of nature.
yeah.
And moksha means real liberation is to see our real position, real swarupa. This
Yeah,
is the moksha.
correct. So in this
Unity.
particular past, yes, Nilima
Unity.
Mataji.
Yes.
Yeah, and it makes us free from the cycle of birth and death.
Birth and death.
And,
Yes.
yeah, that is the ultimate goal of our spiritual lives.
Yes. Rajkumari Mataji, you were saying something.
Nilima Mataji said the
Bol diya.
same thing.
हाँ. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Thank you. So we'll go
Thank you.
ahead. And the complexity of divine relationships.
Here we see the complexity of work, the interactions between among Varkasur, Lord Shiva, and Lord Hari
Yeah.
shows this complexity.
Yes, correct. So basically, it gives us an understanding that divine influence is there in human affairs and piques the audience intellectual curiosity that everything is being guided or being probed. There is everything is a part of the divine plan. So everything is like interconnected. So that is the complexity and of the divine relationships. So here we conclude that one should have the uh, one should live his life according to Guru Shastra uh, and Dharma, and it it inspires the readers to constantly self scrutinize, like watch one's action and desires, and strive for higher knowledge and develop a higher understanding to walk the right path. uh, Three important questions in this particular pastime. How do Varkasura's choice vividly portray the universal struggle between ambition and morality? Okay, I'll just try to quickly wind it up. Personal ambition, when it gets too much, it compromises on one's morality. So one should constantly try to strike a balance between personal ambition, aspiration, and ethical conduct. We see that in Varkasura's pastime. How can devotee effectively navigate the challenges of material success while maintaining a spiritual integrity? So one has to take part in the spiritual uh, like actions, like how to lead one's life on the path of dharma, based on uh, the shastras and the teachings of the right guru, seeking a bona fide guru and then following that path, and being alert towards blind faith and personal ambition. And in what ways do the themes of Arkasura's story resonate with contemporary societal challenges surrounding power and accountability? So nowadays we can see that the moment somebody comes into the power, uh, especially this is in the realms of leadership, governance, and corporate ethics, we should see that when power comes, one should not lose one's discrimination and right conduct, because that can lead to corruption and moral compromise. Okay, now let us see these two important things as per from the commentaries of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Very nicely he's explained the supremacy of Lord Vishnu over Lord Shiva. Anybody would like to quickly explain that? How is Lord Vishnu or Lord Krishna higher to even the greatest of Mahadevs, Lord Shiva?
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Sir Mataji.
Yeah, it's showing
Mataji, you are
Lord
on mute.
Vishnu. Sorry, Lord Vishnu is out of the three transcendental, that is three modes. Uh, how Lord Vishnu is transcending the three modes and Sattva, Rajas, and Tamo, whereas Lord Shiva, he's interacting with these modes.
Yes.
That is the crucial principle.
Yeah.
How that the nature of Lord Vishnu is to liberate the devotees
Yes.
from material entanglements.
Yes.
And this is the experiences is where difference is there. Like when we ask for something material from Lord Vishnu, he may or may not give.
Yes.
Whereas Lord Shiva is so compassionate, and he is because he is in control of these modes, so he is interacting with the devotees in that way and
Yes.
awarding them
Correct.
the
Yes,
material
Mataji.
gains.
Yes, thank you, Archana Mataji. Very nicely explained. Then material versus transcendental experiences. Transcendental experiences will liberate one from the karmic entanglements, material attachments, and material experiences will further entangle one into the material world. So hence we have to make we should have a discrimination of what we are aspiring for. So here very nicely it is put, uh, Lord Vishnu's devotees and Lord Shiva's devotees. The devotees of Vishnu rise above material suffering, whereas followers of Shiva may experience transient material gains yet remain trapped in the relentless cycle of birth and death. Very important point over here. So let us see the nature of devotional service. What is the nature of devotional service? Again, the transformative bhakti liberates one from the karmic baggage and helps one to transcend the material attachments and material world to work towards or go towards a life that is based on selfless love rather than temporary worship or transactional worship, that is give and take. Then divine mercy and suffering, which we have seen earlier, that suffering is basically Lord's mercy that helps us to grow in our spiritual life. Role of materiality in spiritual growth. How much material success is important in spiritual growth? Anyone?
Material challenges catalyze our spiritual growth.
Yes. These are stepping stones on the path of
Stepping
realization.
stone.
Yes,
They do
yes.
foster resilience
And
and deepens
increase
our
our
faith.
faith also, deepening
Yes.
our faith.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially
Correct.
we start depending upon Krishna. At least to
Yes.
because of these horrible challenges, what we feel in
Yes.
material problems, at least
Mm.
we surrender to Krishna and we tell him saying that
Yes.
at least you take care of me.
And whether it
Yeah.
is happiness or distress, pleasure or pains, so we do
Mm.
consider it as the mercy of Lord Krishna.
Yeah. We don't get moved or shaken up
Yeah,
by the difficulties. We rather submit ourselves to the Lord.
yeah.
A reciprocal relationship between devotees and divine, which we have seen that relationship between the Lord and his devotees has always been based on mutual affection. Lord reciprocates to his devotees in the most compassionate manner, always guiding him. Perception of suffering. We just saw that challenges only intensifies one's faith and love for Lord. So, conclusion, when we should always check our aspirations. If it's for personal gains, it will only bring us down. It will make us more entrapped into the cycle of birth and death. But when we draw a line between personal ambition and spiritual life, then probably we can try to grow on the spiritual path. As they say, there is enough for everybody's need, but it will never be any for one person's greed. Three questions over here. Very important points given by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. What specific practices can devotees of Lord Vishnu engage in to deepen their connection with and realization of divine love? All the practices that are advocated to us in the in our uh, ISKCON, that is chanting,
Chanting and worship, ritual,
deity
Association of
worship,
devotees, chanting,
association of
reading the scriptures, and eating prasadam.
eating prasadam, deity worship, all this.
all the
Regularly
sadhu
attending, yes, sadhu sang, regularly attending spiritual gatherings and forming bonds with fellow devotees. Sadhu sang. How can one reconcile the experience of suffering as part of divine mercy? We just saw that when Lord actually uh, gives his mercy, all the pains go away. And even if one is facing the pain, one doesn't realize it because uh, because of the mercy of the Lord, even suffering, he is comfortable even in his suffering. So Kunti Maharani is asking for more challenges, more suffering, so that she can come more closer to Lord Krishna. And in what ways do the teachings around devotion to Lord Vishnu influence daily life and personal relationship among practitioners? Very important point. Devotion to Lord Krishna or Lord Vishnu, how does it shape our personal life, our personal relationship? We
this
develop,
makes yeah,
huh,
Hare Krishna Mataji. This practice, this association with Lord Krishna makes the individual very humble and
hmm,
full of gratitude and having
hmm,
sympathy for everyone and seeing the presence of God in everyone and in
correct.
every living, non-living things. He considers God is there,
Jaya, Ji, Jaya.
Yeah.
and he's always he's so humble and so I think very kind person, and he's always
Yes.
ready to help everyone, and he thinks the all problems and sufferings as a god prasad
Hmm. Hmm.
for he thinks that these are for the betterment of mind, and
Hmm. He accepts life as it is. Jo bhi mila, whatever is comes in life, he takes it as a blessings from the Lord, whether it is happiness or distress, remains the same in all the dualities. And in three important virtues are being instilled in the devotees of Lord Hari is selflessness, gratitude, and empathy in practitioners. So very important point. One should always try
Renunciation
to see.
also, we can see
Yeah,
renunciation
yeah.
from material
Material
desire.
detachment. Correct.
जैसे जैसे हम भगवान से जुड़ते जाते हैं तो भगवान की जो क्वालिटीज है, भगवान में
Hmm.
जो क्वालिटीज है वो हम में थोड़ी थोड़ी आनी शुरू हो जाती है, वैसे भी
Correct. बोलते हैं जैसे सोचते हैं, जिसके बारे में सोचते हैं वैसे इंसान
हाँ,
बनता जाता है.
यस यस मैम.
Okay, so let us conclude with the commentaries of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur then uh, through in this pastime of Varkasura and Lord Shiva. Divine compassion and protection. Yes, Prabhuji, you want to say something? Charu Prabhuji.
So continue.
Okay, I'll just quickly wrap it up. Here it says that deeply committed uh, deities are not only embodiments of compassion but are deeply committed to the welfare of the devotees, serving as protectors against misguided action that threaten one's existence. So, deities are basically helping the working towards the welfare of the devotees. And other point is Lord Shiva's profound compassion as he steps in to shield Varkasura from self-destruction. He was trying to give up his life, so Lord Shiva just came and uh, tried to protect him, to save his life. Okay, consequences of boons. We see that boons that are given by other deities can be not always for the welfare, but in case of Lord Krishna, this doesn't happen. Whatever he gives is for the betterment of the Jivatma. So here it reflects the dual-edged nature of power, capable of both creation and destruction. So if boons are not given without discrimination, it can lead to destruction also. So boons have both. Uh, it can help a person, it can destroy a person. So it should be given uh, with discretion. So the story raises critical questions about wisdom in granting boons, especially to those who have malicious intent. Lord Shiva always does this. He gives boons to demons. I mean, demons have this thing of, they have this evil nature, so they misuse their boons. Intervention of other deities. Always Lord Vishnu intervenes to protect the Jivatmas. So to uphold dharma, Lord comes, and to protect the Jivatma, Lord Vishnu intervenes, Lord Krishna. And the role of austerity and wisdom. Austerity is done basically to get detached from material opulences, material world, and wisdom should be practiced. So Varkasura's extreme worship through self mutilation highlights the potential perils of devotion taken to the extreme. So anything that is done in extreme will only can distract one. The mindset is distracted. The corruption comes in. So because if you want something very desperately and you're doing ready to go to any extent to get it, so you can take any path. You can cross the line of dharma and walk towards adharma also. So recognizing the limits of one's actions and desires, keep a check on one's action and one's desires. Moral responsibility and accountability, as said, that higher power, there is a higher responsibility, so one should be very careful of the power that one's if you have a higher power, it should be used with a lot of discretion. And the last point is freedom from suffering through divine narratives. The best way of the best way of achieving the highest objective is the worship of Lord uh, Krishna. The service, devotional service at the lotus feet of Lord Krishna is the objective of every Jivatma. So we have to keep that in mind, that objective in mind, and how do whatever life is giving us, we should take it as a stepping stone. We should accept it, transcend our, come up from our material sufferings, think of a walk on the path of bhakti, aspiring to serve the lotus feet of Lord. But how does this happen unless you are on the, you have the proper guidance? Guru, Sadhu, Shastra. These three things will help us. So not to have unwanted desires or other desires that can lead us away from the spiritual path. And devotees should ensure that the expressions of devotions, they remain balanced, and it should not lead to not just the harm of others, but harm of oneself. Like by harming others, you're finally harming your own self, because everything or everybody is interconnected. So this we learn from our Shastras, our Guru. And in what ways can the narrative of divine intervention serve as a practical guide for individuals facing moral dilemmas in their life? Uh, like we come across personal challenges. It All the experiences in life they are like guiding us. So these stories of, like, whenever we read Shastras, whatever pastimes we are doing, ours is the best path, because only by reading, only by chanting and hearing, we are getting uh, we are getting rid of our karmic burdens, and in the fastest way. So the best thing that we can do is sadhu sangha, and doing our chanting and listening, always listening about the divine pastimes. So this is what Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur highlights in his comments. So I'll just wind up. I think I've taken a lot of time. Sorry, Prabhuji, over to you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you so much. No, no, you have not taken time, Mataji. Thank you so much. Very nice recap. So I'll share my screen. So please accept my humble ovations to all the assembled Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis. We are done the Mangalacharan. Now we'll straight away go into the today's class. And please bless me. I'm able to make justify for this one hour with this note. So today we are basically covering the 89th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, theme 28 and lesson number 135. This chapter got the 65 verses. Charu Prabhu has divided this into a lesson 135 and 136. 135 is we are covering today, we are covering 44 verses, and the remaining verses we are covering tomorrow. Today, there's a two beautiful story we are going. One is up to 20th verse. We are talking one who actually the greatest of the God. And secondly, the second theme we'll talk about the Arjuna. So Brahmanas, retrieving Brahmana sons in Dwarka Brahmana son. That's what we are going to see. The first, the story, this chapter begins like that. Once there is a group of sages were performing the Vedic sacrifice on the bank of Saraswati River. The controversy arose among them as which of three chief deities is supreme. Is Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, who actually the supreme? Some are saying Brahma, some are saying Vishnu, some are saying Shivji, this a controversy started. To eager to resolve this question, the sages, the Lord's Brahma son Bhrugumuni, to find the answer to this one, he wanted to visit all the three places, Brahma place and Shivji place and Vishnu's place. First, he visited Lord Brahma's place, and so Brahma was situated in the mode of goodness. Bhrugumuni failed to bow down to him, his father basically. The Brahma became very angry at him, inflamed into a fury by his own passion. Through the anger toward his son was now rising within his heart, but Brahma somehow he controlled. And Bhrugumuni then later went to Kailas. So Lord Shiva was his brother basically. He went to Kailas, and Lord Shiva, seeing the Mrugumuni, he stood up and he wanted to embrace him, give him a hug. But Mrugumuni refused to his embrace, telling him, "You are the deviant heretic." At this, Lord Shiva became very angry, and his eyes burned furiously, and he raised a trident and he about to kill Mrugumuni. However, the goddess Parvati Devi fell at his feet and spoke, and he protected him, stopped him to doing so. Then Mrugumuni went to the Lord Vaikunta, where the Lord Janardana resides. There he went to the Supreme Lord who was lying with his head on the lap of his consort Sri and kicked him on his chest. Mrugumuni kicked him on his chest. The Lord then rose along with the goddess Lakshmi as a sign of respect. See the tolerance of Lord Vishnu. Coming down from his bedside, the goal of the Supreme Lord, bowed his head to the floor before the sages and told him, Welcome, my dear Brahmana. So please sit on the chair. Take rest. You came all the way. You take rest sometime. And kindly forgive us, dear master, for not getting noticing your arrival. Otherwise, you would have stayed in the door itself. But you suddenly enter. So sorry, we are not noticed you. So please purify me. Very interesting 10 and 11, Sukhdev Goswami writes here. By realm and the realms of the universal rulers devoted to me by giving us water that has washed your feet. This holy water is indeed what makes all the places pilgrim sacred. Today, my Lord, I have become the exclusive shelter of goddess of fortune, Lakshmi. She will consent to reside on my chest because your foot has rid it of sins. See the Lord Vishnu's humility, So seeing this one, basically Mrugumuni fully satisfied, and he went back to the Saraswati river and in the assembled devotees, and he decided that Lord Vishnu is the supreme. That's what he come up to the conclusion from this story. Sir Charu Prabhu did so many beautiful points out of this. Few slides are there. We'll go through these slides. Now, the first one is supremacy of a deities. The initial debates among the sages regarded the supreme deity sets a profound foundation for examining the divine hierarchy. Here, it addresses, this is a beautiful section basically. It addresses and answers a many misconception people have about the God, especially the idea that everyone is equal to God and that everyone is God. Especially Srila Prabhupada states that India में तो भगवान का फैक्ट्री खुल गया. So that is what the Bhrigu Muni is deciding this on who actually the supreme personality of God is. The section B talks the discussion of the supremacy of the deity is a vital in Gaudiya Vaishnavism. Here the Lord Krishna or Vishnu is recognized as the ultimate reality, establishing a clear hierarchy among the divine figure. So anyone can say me the recite me the Paribhasha Sutra of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Charu Prabhu repeatedly said this verse. 1:3:28.
Prabhuji, may I?
Yes, please.
Yes. शृण्वता स्वकथा कृष्ण पुण्य श्रवण कीर्तनः.
No. एते च अंश कलौ पुंश 1:3:28.
उसका पहला श्लोक वही है प्रभु, 5 श्लोक है ना. हृदयन्तस्थो पत्राणि विदुनोति
बोलिए मत.
सुहृत्सताम् नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमा श्लोके भक्ति भवति नैष्टिकी तदा रजस्तमो भाव कामलोभादयश्च ये चेतेतर अनावृत्तिं स्थितं सत्त्वे प्रसीदति. एवं प्रसन्नमनसो भगवद्भक्ति योगतः भगवत्तत्त्वविज्ञानं मुक्तसङ्गस्य जायते. विद्यते हृदयग्रन्थि छिन्दन्ते सर्वसंशय क्षीयन्ते चास्य कर्माणि दृष्ट एवात्मनीश्वरे. हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी. धन्यवाद.
In verse 1:3:28, that's quite different verse. That is the one. That's the one which says that.
Sorry, Prabhu, that one. एते चाम सकलाम पुंसा कृष्णस्तु भगवान स्वयं. Indrayari Vakulam Loke Mrudayanti Nurgayate. Sorry, Prabhuji, I did not listen carefully. Sorry.
So nice. No. That's okay, Mataji. That's okay. So nice, Mataji. Rakshamat, thank you so much. Yes, that's what the in fact, Charu Prabhu repeatedly say this set of verses, but he also emphasized this 1:3:28. Ete chamshakalo pumsha krishnastu bhagavan swayam Why this is so important for Gaudiya Vaishnavism is that since almost 4 5 years we are I am associated with his this group basically. So meticulously our Gaudiya Acharya has given this beautiful literatures like Shat Sandarbhas, Laghu Bhagavatamrita, Brahad Bhagavatamrita. So it is clearly state that we feel that this probably not there in the other sampradaya. That's what we discussed also. That is what so meticulously our Acharya is giving this one, this beautiful hierarchy, and they made this karikas also. So nicely, Laghu Bhagavatamrita Prabhu has explained us. So that's what I thought to bring it here, this particular point, how actually the Gaudiya Vaishnavism are so fortunate to understand the who actually is a God. And the second one is Bhrugumuni's journey. Bhrugumuni's quest to test the deities illustrate an earnest pursuit of a truth and understanding. His refusal to show the reverence to Brahma, Shiva underscores a crucial lessons in humility and acknowledges of a genuine divinity. Here, in this particular section, so Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and Lord Vishnu represent a deep spiritual investigation into the true nature of divinity. No doubt. This episode reveals that true divinity is measured not by a power or position, but by the depth of a compassion, humility, and tolerance. Again and again, this story tells us. So that is what Trinadapi Sunichena Taroreva Saishnu Namanena Manadena Kirtaniya Sadari. That is what our the whole bhakti is depend on these two principles, humility and humbleness. That is what this Vishnu's qualities are showing here. And the Mrugu, in the B, Mrugumani journey symbolize the quest of for the truth and authority in spiritual life. His interactions with the Brahma and Shiva highlights the necessity of discerning the nature of the divinity. This theme emphasizes the importance of a spiritual inquiry, suggesting that one must approach the divine with a sincerity and profoundness. So that is where this beautiful section is saying the story highlights sincere spiritual inquiry must be accompanied by the humility and reverence. First one is sincerity, then everything will fall in place. So we might be not able to very good at shastras, what it matters, but our sincere attempt to hear the Krishna Katha is more than enough to go back to Godhead, because that sincerity showing it binds Krishna. That's what even our Damodar Leela also states. One our endeavor that sincerely we are trying, my dear Lord. Up to you how much I am able to grab inside or not, but I am trying. That sincerity is very much important here. And the Lord Vishnu is supreme personality of Godhead, underscores the truth of that Krishna is the ultimate of all the knowledge and devotion. That's what this section is taking. We'll go to the next one. Sorry, yes. The divine interactions. The exchange between the Mru and deities illustrate the essence of personal relationship with the god. Lord Brahma and the subsequent restraint demonstrate the relatable qualities of deities, while Shiva's initial wrath and subsequent pacification of a goddess Devi reveals the emotional depth of a divine interactions. This is another beautiful sections basically. So here the main theme is from the bhakti perspective. This reveals that God is not impersonal or detached. The deity's reactions express the divine is a responsive, relational, emotional rich. And this quality of a devotion or bhakti are living a heartfelt relationship rather than the mechanical rituals and intellectual pursuits. And the section B talks about the interaction teaches the divine is accessible, not a remote or abstract energy, but a personal being who hears, feels, and responds. So that's what Krishna says that one. I only need your patram pushpam palam toyam yome bhakta prayaschati. We need your heart. We need your feeling. So that is what Krishna is a bhavagrahi Janardana. Yesterday, we are some of devotees, Prabhu, should we chant Rama, Rama, something they were saying. I say that we can try to pronounce as properly as possible. Now, some of the Chinese devotee not able to speak Rama properly, but it doesn't mean that some default is coming in their body, but doesn't mean that they are doing wrong way. But end of the day, Krishna is a Bhavagrai Janardana. So that is what he's a reciprocation is going, is happening here. He is not that just a stone. Uh, that is what we call all the deities as uh, deities, not idols. So that is what one point I wanted to make it here. Then Lord Vishnu's reception. When the Mrugu strikes a Lord Vishnu, his response of respect and humility powerfully illustrates the concept of a divine grace. This notion, central to the Bhakti tradition, embodies the unmerited love and compassion that God extends to a humanity. These incidents emphasize the transformative power of surrender, articulating the belief that true divinity is characterized by profound compassion and readiness to embrace the purity even the most wayward devotees. Here, this particular section 4 is talking about Vishnu's humility shows that divine is not about asserting superiority, but about demonstrating the grace and love. His forgiveness upon Mrugu's pride into a realization showing the divine grace alone can purify the soul. His compassion reveals that even when the devotees do something, the Lord never withdrew his affection. That's what we said. Na? Even in 7.6, 16, Krishna says that when there's a four people are coming, Artho, Arthati, Gyanicha, Bharatarshabha. Still, the Krishna is saying in the next verse, these people are Udhara, magnanimous, because he is hungry for that bhakti. So he forgives a mistake, but we don't want to take it granted that, no, okay, Krishna is forgiving the mistakes. I can go keep on doing that one. That should not be the mode. Number 5, we'll go to the number 5 slide. It is a straightforward. You can read this one. Purification through the devotion. Lord Vishnu's request for the water that washed the Mrugu's feet symbolizes the sacred process of purification through the devoted service. Vishnu teaches through this service that serving the pure devotees is so important in the path of bhakti. It might be Vani or it might be Vapuseva. This reinforces the bhakti principle that engaging in selfless service can cleanses one's sins and elevate one's spirituality, suggesting that the path of devotion is essential for attaining the liberation. I was talking to the one of the devotee in Mayapur. He was saying that, Prabhuji, I have some not able to leave this many bad habits. And he was saying that one, if we want, suppose in our path of bhakti, many things are obstructing us. Many things are stopping us from the going to that higher level of bhakti. Then he only said that one, go and do the service to the pure devotees. Go and service to the senior devotees. This way, the anartha will be get out of our body, from our mind. So we can practice the bhakti. That is what Vishnu is showing here through the washing the lotus feet of the Mrugumuni. The request for the water that washed the Murgu's feet symbolize the transformative power of devotional service. It illustrates the belief that engaging in acts of devotion purifies the heart and mind, enabling one to transcend the material contamination. This theme not only emphasizes the experimental nature of purification but also inspire devotees to engage in the transformative power of devotion and actively. Devotional ecstasy. Bhrugu's overwhelming joy upon the hearing the Vishnu's word signifies the deep emotional fulfillment that arises from true devotion. This exemplifies the bhakti tradition emphasized on the experiencing the divine love and ecstatic joy. Experience deemed richer and more significant than the mere intellectual comprehension. So that is what Srila Prabhupada stated that one bhakti should not be take it as a too much stress or so many formalities, all this stuff we need to follow. Bhakti to be practiced with a joy. That's what every acharya is saying that. If we say that one it is a binding us, then we are failed. We are not able to forcefully, we cannot do the bhakti. But when you take it into our heart, hey, I'm purifying, I'm getting the love out of this doing so, then we can practice bhakti easily. The number B says that Mrugu's ecstatic responsive to the Lord Vishnu's word encapsulates the transformative power of divine love. In bhakti, experiencing a divine joy and ecstasy is seen as a sign of spiritual progress. That is more important. He's saying that we can, whatever we are chanting, not because of just to chant. We'll try to enjoy that chanting, then the things will be helping us and it will help us in our progressing the path of bhakti. This theme not only highlights the significance of emotional engagement in spiritual practice, but also fosters the profound sense of emotional connection with God, ultimately leading to liberation. And even Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, we go one step ahead. Liberation, we are not even hankering for the liberation. Prema Pumarto Mahan. Ultimately, Prema, we want that one. So liberation only come and doorsteps. That's what our Acharya is stating. When you practice bhakti, liberation will be waiting in our doorstep. So, but by doing so, ultimate goal of prema, it will be coming. But we have to be practice the bhakti with a joy by following the Acharya's footstep. This slide number 7, conclusive realization. So here the conclusive realization section A represent the sage's collective recognition of Vishnu as a supreme deity after hearing the Bhrugu's testimony highlights the transformative power of a shared spiritual experience. See, by seeing the Lord's quality and understanding his supreme nature together, the sage's faith and devotion deepen. This realization demonstrates the spiritual truth is reinforced through the shared experience, creating unity, mutual encouragement, and supportive atmosphere for all the devotees. So, by attending so many a few years of this class, which I have not even heard so many things like Laghu Bhagavatamrita and Shat Sandarbhas, I attended only a couple of Sandarbhas only. I joined bit late. So many things Prabhuji's shared here, devotees shared among. This way, the faith can be deepened because the faith is the only thing which takes us to the higher and higher and higher. Prema means what? 100% faith. So, Saga means what? It is a 1% faith. Shraddha to Prema, there's a 9 steps of bhaktis are there, na? That faith, Prema stage is what 100% faith. Shraddha faith is 1% faith. The faith only increasing. How we can increase the faith? By hearing this literatures, by hearing the Shastra from the pure devotees. That's what we can increase. So this is what the sages confirm that, hey, Lord Supreme, Vishnu is the ultimate God. That's what we can come to know from this particular story. The collective acceptance of a Vishnu as a supreme deity by the sages represent the power of shared spiritual experiences and community in bhakti. So this collective acceptance highlights how individual insight contributes to the spiritual growth of the community. When one person experiences the reality of the Supreme Lord, it inspires others to recognize and deepen their devotion. Such shared realization encourages the unity in spiritual practice. Number 8, nature of material existence. The passage examines the creation of being the crucial role of the 3 modes of nature, goodness, passion, and ignorance, that defines a material existence. One of these modes condition life in the material realm. The ultimate aspiration is to transcend them through the devotional practice, leading towards the spiritual liberation. The key takeaway from this section is material existence is conditioned and complex, but through the bhakti and cultivation of a goodness, devotee can rise above the modes, deepen their connection with the Supreme, and make a steady progress towards the spiritual liberation. That is what this particular number 8 point talks. We'll go to the number 9. So explain devotional service and divine abode. So because of that, I'll conclude what actually this slides basically is a devotional service and divine abode and the power of sacred narration is talking how is the importance of hearing and sharing Krishna consciousness. So I have taken the note that hearing shows the path and hearing is the path in the bhakti. Because when we heard someone, that is what Krishna started the bhakti yoga from the hearing only. Yogam maya asakta manapartha, yogam yunjan mad ashraya. Asamshayam samagram mama yata jnasiti tatsrunu. Tatsrunu. Just hear. What I need to hear? Yogam yunjan madashray asamshayam samagra mama yatajnasi satruna. By hearing, what will happen? All your doubts will be asamshaya, all your samshaya will be, all your doubts will be clear up. So what will happen if I clear my doubt and you are able to mad ashray, you are able to take my ashray. Then what will happen? You are able to asakti. You will come to in hearing about me, the asakti will be. What he is saying that? So how I need to develop the asakti? By hearing only. That is the hearing shows the path. And hearing is the path. That's what this verse concludes. This many points are talking about the how important is the hearing. This passage articulates the foundation principle of Gaudiya Vaishnavism, emphasizing the vital importance of the personal relationship with overreaching the goal of achieving the unity with the God through the loving service. So that loving service start with the Shravanam Vishnu Smaranam. That is what these points are talking. Now we'll go to the next one. These are beautiful questions. How do the different modes of material nature impact on individual spiritual journey in practical terms? The transformative power of embracing the modes of goodness is truly profound. It could deeply influence an individual thoughts, behavior, and motivation, fostering the essential qualities such as the purity, self-control, and compassion. These virtues are not just enhancement, they are fundamental to spiritual growth, compelling the practitioners to rise above their limitations and advance their spiritual path. In contrast, being swayed by the mode of passion can lead to a distracting attachment and desire that pull one away from the genuine devotion. Similarly, ignorance breeds a confusion and obscure the clarity regarding the one's spiritual objective. By understanding these modes, individual can more effectively identify the area of improvement. See, end of the day, we are all in the modes of goodness. Sometimes ignorance will be up, sometimes passion will be up, sometimes goodness will be up. But end of the day, devotee wanted to come out of this modes means what? They can stay as much as possible in the mode of goodness. I was talking how practically we can the devotees are doing. I've seen this one. Especially nowadays, IT job becomes so much stressful. Our Sanjeev Prabhu can give this example after COVID. In our team, in our Bhakti Ruksha team, so many devotees, around 90% people are ITs only. So what they are doing the exercise is that I told them to just as print a sloka, one weekly once print a sloka and put on your water bottle like this, water bottle. We can print and stick here. Whenever we drink a water, I can recite this sloka and this way we can come to the mode of goodness, though we are in a stressed out with our day-to-day activities. And
Excellent.
put the sloka on your in this thing. This is what we do this one, in the water bottle. I stick here and we read it. Whenever we think, oh Krishna, you only, okay, read this verse and read it. This sort we are doing this some practical demonstration. Try to bring
Indeed,
our
that's a great idea.
passion
That's a great
into
idea.
the mode of goodness by reciting the sloka. Yes. So that's what we are doing, Prabhu. And because otherwise the devotees are not, every time they say that no time, no time, no time, no. No, that is what we thought to started this exercise. And the second question is, in what ways can devotee actively cultivate the qualities associated with the goodness to enhance their spiritual practice? Devotee have a numerous avenue to actively cultivate the life affirming qualities associated with the goodness and significantly enhance their spiritual practices. Engaging in a selfless service seva, practicing meditation and mindfulness, and immersing themselves in the study of sacred text are all powerful strategies. However, the impact of surrounding oneself like-minded individuals who inspire and nurture spiritual growth cannot be overstated. This supportive community not only enriches one's personal practice but also fosters the profound sense of connections. So that is this is a beautiful connection. Additionally, embodying virtues of such as a kindness, humility, and patience in everyday interactions makes us significantly easier to align with a higher principle, ultimately deepening one's connection with the divine. Number three, what specific practice or rituals in bhakti facilitates the emotional connection with a god that leads to a devotional ecstasy? In bhakti, specific practice and rituals play a vital role in facilitating the emotional connection with the god, igniting the pathway to devotional ecstasy that transcend the mere devotion to embrace profound joy and love. Practices such as chanting the names of a god, practicing in a kirtana, and engaging in a congregational worship create an immersive environment where devotees can wholeheartedly express their love and devotion. We recently, around last couple of weeks back, we have conducted the Bhakti Roots program. Here, this Bhakti Roots means basically we conducted for the children. So children-based program, and the parents were also there. We asked what you want from the children. Most of the parents they want the children to be chant, children to be playing the mridang, everything they say. Then what we come up to see, you cannot force a children to chant. Okay, you can force for some time, but practically it is not possible. After certain age, they will ignore. So that is what how we can create. Mother Yashoda did is that was we need as a parents our responsibility to create the spiritual environment so that they will get the mode of goodness soon after there when they wake up from the bed. So in our Gurukul curriculum also we started putting that one like an the importance of chanting in a joyful way. They are able to, and we brought some small beats for the children to do this one. This way, children also practicing. We need to give a little bit here and there for the children for initial, but we cannot force. As a parent, that is our responsibility to. If we follow, then children will follow. If we are not following, we cannot force on the children. That is what takeaway message we have brought from that Bhakti Roots program. Just I thought to explain here in this how to practice bhakti rituals in bhakti. Now we'll go to the Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentaries. The very beautiful commentaries. Supremacy of the deities. So here section A explains Brahma, Shiva, while immensely powerful, no doubt about this one, still conditioned by the three modes of material nature: goodness, passion, and ignorance. Their actions and responses demonstrate that their power are exercised within the constraint of material laws only. They are not above the modes of material nature. Krishna, however, remains completely transcendental. Though he created this external energy, Maya Adhyakshena Prakriti Suyate Sacharacharam. But still he is above the material. Though he created this one, but he is above this material nature. That is what he is unaffected by these modes. His supremacy is not only but it in transcend over the material conditioning, embodying the ultimate source of devotion, compassion, and grace. Now the section B talks about the perspective is particular central in Gaudiya Vaishnavism. We see the Krishna as a Param Purusha, the supreme person from the whom all other divine forms emanates. Understanding the distinctive qualities and function of a different deity show allows a devotees to appreciate a full spectrum of a divine activity without losing the sight of a supreme source. So this is what the Gaudiya Vaishnavism, Vishwanath Chakravarti point out how fortunate we are. This particular section also stress that importance of personal relationship with the Krishna, that is more important. While the other deities manage the cosmic function, only Krishna provides a direct pathway for loving devotion, which is essential for spiritual progress and liberation. Number two, transcendental goodness, Suddha Sattva. Lord Vishnu is characterized as the embodiment of a transcendental goodness, a state that rises above the ordinary goodness tied to the modes of nature. His response to the Bhrigu offensive, displaying the remarkable forgiveness and humility, underscore the essence of divine grace. Here, Bhrigu Muni test illustrate that Brahma and Shiva, though powerful, are still bound by material modes. While Krishna is fully transcendental, this reveals the necessity of directing a devotion to the Supreme Being. So, the hierarchy of the deity teaches that Krishna is the source of all divine manifestation, and that understanding this hierarchy deepens the spiritual comprehension. Personal devotion to Krishna fosters the direct transformative relationship with the Supreme, which is the ultimate aim of a bhakti. That is what the concept of Suddha Sattva surpasses the conventional understanding of the three modes of nature. How we can do this one? How we can surpass the Siddha Sattva Guna practical application? If we stay for the Sattva Guna for long time, then eventually you will go out of the, you will come to the Suddha Sattva Guna. That is what Acharyas and our Prabhus are also explained many times. So that is what reading the slokas during our Rajoguna, Tamoguna, whenever comes. So that is what when bring our mind back to Sattva stay as much as possible in the Sattva then we are eventually one day we are able to come to Suddha Sattva. And the third one is role of devotion, bhakti. The passage powerfully emphasizes the sincere devotion to Krishna transcend the mere practice. It is a transformative journey. This journey leads to not only knowledge and detachment, but also to a direct personal encounter with the divine. So this particular section deals with the, it is straight away. Illustrate the beautifully in the verse from the Bhagavatam. It asserts that devotion, realization, and renunciation, qualities for a devotee. The profound insight inspire the inauguratrix and the audience, asserting the bhakti represent the most potent avenue for a spiritual advancement. Krishna repeatedly saying, Krishna's devotee repeatedly saying this one. One devotee asked this question yesterday in the Bhakti Shastri class. Prabhuji, if the Krishna knows bhakti is the ultimate easy way or a easy pathway to reach him, then why Narada Muni advised to do the Astanga Yoga to the Dhruv Maharaj? That is what the devotee's question. Very hope question is so I told him that end of the Dhruv Maharaj status is completely different. Why you are comparing Dhruv Maharaj to the in Kali Yuga? So you want to do the Astanga Yoga, you go and do the Astanga Yoga in Himalaya. So that is what many people are thinking in a different way. So there, this is what I was just thinking. Though we don't want to take a easy process, we always complexity in our mind. Why can't I go the hard way? Why Krishna is giving us so easy way? That's what some people also think like this. Number B, the simultaneous enthiving of a devotion, realization, and renunciation within the practice of bhakti highlights it is an interrogative essence. This journey is not a solely personal but unfolds as a holistic spiritual practice that commends a devotee with a broader spiritual community. So that is a self-explanatory. Sattva and divine affection. This text that evolves into the intervening dynamic between the Lord Vishnu transcendental nature and his affections for those embodying the modes of goodness. While Vishnu exists beyond the three gunas, his merciful essence irresistible draws him towards those who nurture their inherent goodness, which in turn foster their spiritual advancement. This teaching under the vital importance of cultivating virtues all while remaining aware of their inherent limitation. The interplay between the modes of nature, sattva, raja, and tamas, and the divine affection reveals a profound connection between the material and spiritual realms. Vishnu's affinity for the virtuous hints that purity of the heart and intention can develop their virtues, creating an environment that nurture the spiritual growth and deepen their sacred connections, while is acknowledging the ultimate transcendence of the divine. So that is what I mean. Sattva, Raja, and divine affection. Uh, this particular it is a self-explanatory slide. So we'll continue and we'll finish it up in another half, 20 minutes max. So now here number 12, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary, The Nature of Offense and Remorse. So here the key insight is that the narrative emphasizes the serious of disrespect towards the divine, but also the highlights of a transformative potential of a remorse and repentance. Example, when the Mrugu strikes Vishnu instead of a retaliation, Vishnu responds with a compassion and humility. This illustrates the genuine repentance can elevate the devotee spiritually. See, it's a very difficult to implement. You can do this practical application. If someone is saying in your path of bhakti, we not did that mistake. Someone is pointing out that you did that mistake, you did that mistake. So we straight away reacted to the statement that, hey, I have not even done that. How come you say this one? Suddenly we respond to that devotee. It is very hard because we not did, because it is very hard to digest that blame. That is where the Vishnu's here. Even though the Mrugu Muni put his feet on his chest, still he is accepted it. That is where the practicing devotion, theoretically it looks okay, but practical implication when it comes, it becomes very hard for us, especially a person like me. So these qualities will come when you practice slowly, 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 slowly. That accepting nature will come slowly, but it takes a long time. Person like me. Number B, it talks about the theme of offenses and remorse wave a critical tapestry of a humility and the redemptive power of a repentance in spiritual life. This insight that reveals that acknowledging the one's shortcomings and seeking a forgiveness are not just significant, but essential steps on the bhakti path, enabling a devotee to transcend their egos and foster the deep connection with the divine. That is what one the false ego, how it bringing us back and back and back. That is what the ego. It is very difficult to get out of this false ego. Even we can do this small application in our day-to-day life. Uh, it goes over my head when I talks about this false ego. But only thing is that divine love is not a conditional or perfection, but is rooted to sincerity and resolved to a correct missteps. So getting out of the false ego, it is only possible the devotee's mercy and sincerity in the bhakti. That's what we can only take. The importance of a divine association. You can also share your personal experience in the question answer session about the false ego. Many things, it is very good to talk on the screen, but application wise, it is very difficult. False ego. Until unless we have this false ego, the Acharya say that we'll never go back to Godhead. So I don't know how it applies. I don't, I don't have that scope to talk on this one because I'm not in that level. But there's one disciple of Srila Prabhupada. I forgot the Mataji's name. She visited Sydney very recently. She has this book, False Ego book. We thought to read for some time, but somehow because of the other commitment, not able to happen that one. But it's a very beautiful book. Srila Prabhupada disciple. See personal realization she put in her this thing. Once she said one example. In Mayapur, there's a lot of big kirtan team. They hold the big kirtan, 24 into 7 kirtan team. All over the world, people came and he was doing the kirtan. And some devotee asked, my dear Prabhupada, so beautiful kirtan is going on. What do you think about this one? First instant, Prabhupada not responded. Then devotee asked again, Prabhupada, what do you think about the kirtan? So nice kirtan is going on. Then Prabhupada responded, these devotees are doing it just to get like this one. That's what Mataji shared this one. So this is why our whatever we are doing the activities, it has to be for pleasing the Lord. How Charu Prabhu every words he stated there. A person like me, if I do something, I always take, I please the devotees. I want the name and fame. This is very difficult, and it is not pleases the Lord at all. That is what that story tells about the Prabhupada's mood of commenting on that kirtan team. And the importance of divine association, the discussion around the company of devotees, sadhus, the divine association is Vaikunta's emphasize the necessity of being surrounded by the pure beings for a spiritual growth. The
Hare Krishna,
acknowledgement
Prabhu.
that Vishnu's honors the
Is that book is Our Constant Companion in Troublesome was written by Deviki Devi Dasi. Is that correct, Prabhu?
Yes, correct. Yes,
Thank
yes. Devaki Mataji. Yes, constant false ego is a constant companion. Yes,
Yeah,
I
sorry, Prabhu.
totally
I
forgot.
just thought of getting
I
sure.
did that. No, 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 no. That's good. Devaki Mataji is correct. False ego is a constant companion. There's a book is there. If you get, will read you very beautifully. Mataji written this one. And the emphasis on the company of a devotee illustrate that spiritual progress is often enhanced by a community and a company of a like-minded souls. This insight speaks our inherent interdependence on a spiritual path, suggesting that engaging with a supportive community can significantly enrich the one spiritual experience, cultivate the virtues. So that is what Rupa Goswami also said this one, the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. We have to uh, I forgot that verse. We have to give the charity, accept the charity, open our mind to the devotees, and talk confidential thing with the devotee. We don't need to hold something in our heart. We have to openly talk. We are all in the same phase. But I am facing this problem, Prabhuji, how I need to do. Wherever, whomever we feel comfort, we can open our problems. This way we can support each other and we can progress in the bhakti. And
Prabhuji, shloka is dadati pratigruhnati guhyam akhyati pruchati bhukte bhojana cheva shadviti priti lakshanam.
thank you, Mata. So nice. Yes, Mataji. Yes. So that is what that particular slide talking about. We always try to share something. If you have something in your hindering in our mind, we can always try to share with our devotees. This way, we can practice bhakti more freely. If we hold something, then it is not able to hold grudges about someone, or in especially in the big congregation and all. We feel this one. Holding the grudges, we're not able to go back to Godhead. So that is what we have to open our heart and talk and live that one. And we can, because end of the day, we are all part and parcel of the Lord. We have some कमतियां हैं हमारे पास, no doubt. Because of the वो कमतियां है बोल के हम लोग इधर है. But if we are holding one again grudges, one again asuyas, all this stuff and all, it hampers us. Again, we come back to God, come back to here material world again because we are holding that one. So that is what practical application we need to do that one. Number 7, nectarious narration. The metaphor of a narration as a nectar with the aroma of a lotus beautifully encapsulates the executive and transformative essence of a divine stories and teachings. This imaginary conveys that immersing oneself in these narratives can heal the soul from the malady of the illusion and ignorance, drawing a devotees closer and sacred. I mean, basically, this section talks about devotion to Krishna is the central and most effective means of attaining the Supreme Being. Throughout this chapter, the qualities of mercy, forgiveness, humility, and compassion are constantly demonstrated by the Lord here, particularly Vishnu and Krishna. Cultivating the goodness through the practicing goodness, devotee prepare themselves to receive the divine grace and strengthen their relationship with Krishna. Devotion purifies the heart, transcends the ego and material conditioning, and fosters the direct personal connection with the Supreme. So, in the conclusion, the thematic elements and philosophical insights are articulate in this passage focus on the devotion, bhakti, as the primary avenue towards attaining the Supreme Being. They poignantly illustrate the qualities of mercy, forgiveness, and necessity of cultivating the goodness. That is what we said. Collectively, These themes reaffirms the foundational tenets of Gaudiya Vaishnavism, which prioritize the personal relationship with a fervent devotion to Krishna over the impersonal philosophies. These insights foster unveil the rich philosophical framework of a Gaudiya Vaishnavism, illuminating the intricacies of devotion, the nature of the divine, and the transformative capacity of a dedicated spiritual practice. This is what the Gaudiya Vaishnavism separates from the other spiritual path is that one. So our principle is Ranadapi Sunichena, taking care of the devotees and support the devotees in our level best. This is what we are able to grasp the mercy, get the mercy of the Lord. Attention. Even I think somewhere here in this class or somewhere we read that one. If the Atiti is coming, if the devotee is doing the puja or worshipping the deity, he will stop that deity worship and he need to invite the Atiti. That's what I read, whether this class or somewhere, Prabhu. That is, it gives the more respect and humility to the devotees. That is what I can take away from this Gaudiya Vishnu's principles. Now the instructive questions and answers on the based on the Vishwanath Chakravarti commentaries. What specific practice within the bhakti can deepen the personal relationship with the Krishna? That truly deepen your personal relationship with the Lord Krishna, immerse yourself in the transformative practice of bhakti. That is only bhakti is the only thing we can bind Krishna. There is no other way. There is no other way. Regularly chanting His holy name not only elevates your spiritual, but it also invites His divine presence into your life. Because Namnamakari Bodha Nija Sarva Shakti. Tatrapita Nimita na smaranena na kala. Anytime, anywhere, we can chant. Because whole energy, whole potency is given in this Nama. And how do the qualities of compassion and forgiveness in divine nature manifest in the lives of a devotee? The divine qualities of compassion and forgiveness strongly manifest in the lives of a devotee through their actions and relationship with others. That's what. Empathy becomes a guiding light, allowing the devotees to genuinely understand and resonate with the feeling of those around them. This deep sense of connection nurtures the compassionate atmosphere within the community, reinforcing the principle of the bhakti. As much as possible, that is what Krishna says in the 18th chapter, is that one who preaches this Krishna consciousness, one who gives the Krishna to others, he is more and more dear to me. That's what Krishna says. Because this is what we are compassion, showing compassion towards the conditioned souls. What are some practical ways of transcend the modes of nature in daily life while cultivating the devotion to Krishna? To transcend the modes of nature while cultivating the unwavering devotion to Krishna, adopt the powerful practice such as mindfulness, self-reflection, equally crucial in the company you keep. Surrounding yourself with uplifting, supportive individuals can elevate your consciousness remarkably. So that is a self-explanatory. So we'll go to the next section, another instructive questions here. What specific practice can one engage in the cultivate virtues in alignment with the divine affection? To truly cultivate the virtues in harmony with the divine affection, one should embrace a range of transformative practice like regular prayers, meditation, serve as powerful tools for depending on the spiritual connection and self-awareness. This we already doing our level best. How does the concept of divine grace manifest in the lives of individuals who have experienced significant offenses? For those who have faced significant offenses, the manifestation of divine grace can profoundly transformative. This grace often appears in individual opportunities for a repentance, healing. We can ask forgiveness. We can ask sorry for the devotees. That is what knowingly or unknowingly we commit also every day. We are saying this one. Vanchakalpatrubhascha kripa sindhuvecha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. And if we know something we have really done mistake, we can ask forgiveness. So this way we can repent our mistake. And what are the practical steps to foster the supportive spiritual community that aligns with the ideals of bhakti? Creating a supportive spiritual community that embodies the ideals of bhakti begins with the active pursuit of a connection with the like-minded individuals, organizing the regular gathering of our prayers. That is what going to the temple, mingling with the devotees once in a while, once in a weekend at least. So this energize our batteries, recharge our batteries for next week. Okay. With this note, we'll go to the next beautiful story. That is what Sukadeva Goswami narrate here. So this is there was a Brahmana in the Dwarka. The Brahmana wife gave a birth to a son, but newborn infant died as soon as they touched the ground. And soon this Brahmana came to the Ugrasena's court and started scolding Ugrasena, what type of king you are? My son is died immediately birth. Like that, Brahmana started scolding. One time, two time, three time. I think 9 time he did this one. Third child. Each time he left the body as his dead son, the king door and sang the same lamentation, same scolding the king. That's what he was doing. When the ninth child died, Arjuna was there in the Ugrasena's place, was near to Keshava. What happened, my dear Brahmana? What is the matter? My dear Brahmana, isn't there some lovely members of the royal order here who can at least stand before your house with a bow and arrow? The Brahmana started chastising him. What you are talking? Even Lord Keshava, Lord Vasudeva, Shankarshana, they are not able to protect my child. What you are going to do this one? Don't promise all these stuffs. Then Arjuna said, no, no, no. I am not the Shankarshana, I am not a Brahmana, nor I am a Krishna, not even a Krishna's son. Rather, I am Arjuna. I am holding the Gandiva bow. I am able to protect your child. Somehow Arjuna convinced this Brahmana. Brahmana also satisfied Arjuna declaration of his prowess. And he said that, no, he promised, if I'm not able to protect this, my Gandiva, if I'm not able to protect your son, I'll do the suicide. That's what Arjuna's promised. However, the Brahmana, so okay, he said, okay, itna bol raha hai to I'll give this chance to you. Then the same thing happened. Brahmana wife gave the birth, but again, newborn infant crying the short time, he suddenly vanished into the sky in the self-same body. The Brahmanas then dried the Arjuna in front of the Lord Krishna. Just see how foolish I was. Put a faith in the bragging enrich. Then Arjuna, what happened? Before that one, he fenced his house with shooting the arrows attached to the various missiles so that he wanted to protect the child, newborn child. However, Arjuna not succeeded. Then Arjuna, he gone to the all the hellish planet as well as Swargaloka to searching this one Yamaraja place. Everywhere he searched, he not found anywhere. Then, not seeing the Brahmana child anywhere, Arjuna went to the cities of Indra, Agni, Soma, everywhere he went, not happen. Then Arjuna decided to enter the sacred fire, having failed to keep his promise. But that time Krishna stopped. This is what till here Krishna stopped, and we'll do the next what actually he is doing now. In this up to here, we'll talk now to 44 verse. And remaining part, what actually happening, we'll talk in the next particular section. So here, the suffering, I don't know why I raised my hand. The suffering and divine justice. The Brahmana's heart wrenching the lament over the loo of the newborn serves as a poignant introduction to the theme of the suffering, seeming injustice, face of the righteous. Here, this particular section seems suffering and apparent injustice through the Brahmana's heartfelt lament over the loss of a newborn. The Brahmana's grievance is directed as a king Ugrasena, symbolizing the failure of earthly authority to protect the uphold dharmas. If something is happening, injustice is happening to the public, means the ruler is a culprit earlier that day. Now everyone is suffering. Our leaders are enjoying. We cannot put this one to them. Even they are not ready to listen also. So that, I mean, in the section B is basically talking, the Brahmana suffering exemplifies how divine justice is not always immediately perceptible, reminding devotees that human understanding of a justice is limited. From devotional perspective, adversity serves a higher spiritual purpose. Suffering can catalyze the introspection, relevance on the divine grace, and deeper devotions. Number two, devotion and faith. So here in this particular section, the bhakti, from a bhakti perspective, this passage illustrates the principle that sincere prayers and devoted action invoke the divine protection and favor. That is what Yashodamaya, she did, tried. Ultimately, inside she said that now enough is enough now. I am now unable to bind Krishna. So that time Krishna shown the mercy. Okay, let you bind. Yashodamaya not able to hold Krishna, running every street of the Vrindavan. So not able to hold. One time she decided, no, enough now. I'm not able to do it now. That time Krishna shown the mercy. That is why when we do our level best, when we put the result in the Krishna's shoulder, then he will give that mercy will come. That's what this particular section talks. And the next one, heroism and divine empowerment. Arjuna's, in this particular section, so basically is a self-explanatory. Arjuna's ascertain his identity as a wielder of the Gandiva bow in much more than the ascertain of a skill. It powerfully reinforced the concept of the empowered devotees. The P theme saying that the theme emphasizes the relationship between the devotee and the divine as one founded on a empowerment. Arjuna's declaration of his prowess grounded in his devotion embodies the idea that individuals can achieve the greatness through their connection with a higher power. That is what the nature and reality also states. Now we'll go to the finally with the divine intervention and the role of a supreme. It is a very quickly, the narrative reaches the powerful climax when the Arjuna sets out to rescue the Brahmana's newborn across the various realms, exemplifying the quest for a divine aid. Lord Krishna eventually intervenes in the make a pivotal moment, strengthening the belief in Krishna's as a cornerstone of the Gaudiya Vaishnavism. The conviction is Krishna as the ultimate source of a resolution, emphasize the narrative fundamental teachings. The community responsibilities are self-explanatory. So quickly, I'll go here. Running time now. What are specific actions or attributes of a King Ugrasena are seen as a failure in the fulfilling his duties? King Ugrasena shortcomings as a ruler are highlighted by his failure to safeguard his subjects from the safeguarding and injustice as the evidence by the Brahmanas elements. How does the concept of karma interacts with the Brahmana suffering and what lessons can be drawn from this relationship? Interplay between the karma and the Brahmana suffering reveals a profound truth. Every action carries a consequence that shapes our lives. This situation illustrates that suffering can be served as a powerful impetus for the spiritual development, promoting a deep introspection and the greater resilience on divine grace. In what ways can devotee actively cultivate the kind of unwavering faith and devotion exemplified by the Arjunas in their own life? The nurture unwavering faith and devotion akin to Arjuna's devotee and immerse themselves in a consistent spiritual practice like a prayers, meditation, and the study of a sacred text. That's what it is saying. What specific teachings of a practice within the Bhakti philosophy can help a devotee cultivating discernment in the face of suffering? This development, discernment amidst of suffering, devotee can immerse themselves in a practice like a prayers, meditation, and study of a sacred text. That's what we say. How does Arjuna's journey and search for the Brahmana son reflect the broader quest for spiritual truth in everyday life? Arjuna's quest to find the Brahmana son epitomizes the universal search for a truth and deeper spiritual understanding. We need to do that one. His unwavering commitment to assist another in distress exemplify the compassion, integrity, inspiring individuals and navigate life's intricacies with a purpose. That is what devotees are always merciful. In what ways can individual embody the responsibility of a leadership and community support contemporary society? Individual can truly embody the leadership and support within their communities by actively engaging in the local initiatives, volunteering their time, and advocating for those in need. We are all doing our level best. Service to Srila Prabhupada mission. With this note, I think this is the last one. Yeah. Thank you so much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Over to you, Prabhu. Haribol.
So wonderful, Prabhu. You have given so many examples from your congregations and various other things, your practical experiences. So nice, Prabhu. Thank you very much. Rajiv,
Thank you,
Prabhu.
Prabhu. Thank you. Thank you so much.
So much.
I'll go to Charu Prabhu for giving such beautiful slides. Because of that, we are able to talk something.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम। थैंक यू
Dhanwad
फॉर सो
Pranam.
वंडरफुल क्लास प्रभु जी। प्रभु जी, ये दोनों स्टोरी में से हमें एक ही टेक अवे ले सकते हैं कि कृष्णा इज द परम आश्रय, our ultimate आश्रय is कृष्णा।
Correct. So divine protection comes when we surrender to Krishna. That's what we can take. Arjuna tried his level best to do the needful. But when he is unable to do, that time Krishna, when he turned towards Krishna, then Krishna shown the mercy towards him.
यस प्रभु जी।
Dhanvat Pranam Prabhuji. Thank
Dhanwad
you so
Pranam.
much for the wonderful class. Prabhuji, you said about the Sattva, to be in Sattva Guna, and once you are successful in being in Sattva for a long time, then you probably enter Shuddha Sattva. So once you is then coming to the stage of Shuddha Sattva, is then when gets rid of the cycle of birth and death, or how is it like, or do we get
Yes, as long as even the mode of goodness, like the acharyas are giving examples like Sattva you know that in the jail में ना shackle लगाते हैं, criminals को shackle लगाते हैं, that one
yeah,
हाथ
yeah.
कड़ी लगाते हैं, हथकड़ी. So the mode of goodness is like a golden hathkadi. Golden hathkadi. In the Rajoguna is like a silver hathkadi. And the ignorance is like a steel hathkadi. So what type of handcuffs we want? Golden, silver or steel?
Basically you want to get rid of all of them?
Correct.
No,
That's
Hatkari.
what.
Yeah.
This is what the there. So that Hatkadi we don't want. Even mode of goodness is not end up for life, but we are taking the stepping stone, staying for long time in the mode of goodness. It go out above the modes. That is what. But steps we have to take it through the slowly from taking the help of that mode of goodness.
Okay. So once we are on the Shuddha Sattva platform, then we get
Yeah,
rid
that
of
is the
the.
transcendental stage basically. We are above the
Oh,
mode of
okay.
goodness. Yes. As
Okay.
long
And
as bhakti, we
Prabhuji,
are practicing bhakti means what it is that Krishna takes care.
yeah. And very beautiful points you mentioned, like about the how to that shloka practically, how you wrote the shloka on the water bottle, uh, and also insisting on the practice of shravanam, like that is the
Yes.
very important part. Now, when we
Yes.
are listening during a day, probably I'm talking for myself. In a day, I would probably do shravanam not more than 1 hour.
Hmm.
But the shravanam that happens in the material world, that happens in the rest of consciously, subconsciously 23 hours,
Hmm.
which is about the job, family, work, and so how does this 1 hour play? Because doesn't it get dominated? How does this 1 hour play, or makes me grow, or will it make, because it is very small amount of time that I'm investing.
Hmm. I mean, basically, Srila Prabhupada said that one devotee said that one. Um, there's a beautiful statement is coming. We are always in the Krishna. Why Maya is contracting something he asked. Then Srila Prabhupada said that we are always in the Maya. Only sometimes we'll go in the Krishnas here and there, Krishna 1 hour. Out of 23 hours, 1 hour doesn't much matter. But Krishna's potency is like that. Krishna's mercy is like that. Devotee's mercy is like that, Mataji. This 1 hour, we can try to stretch it up a little bit. I think last week, I don't know whether this class or somewhere. So um, there is a in science. I think most of us are in the science student. There is a elasticity, plasticity, and the breaking point. There's the three things are there. When you stretch the rubber, leave the rubber, stretch rubber, leave, it will come back to his original position. Is that making sense? So similarly, if we are doing 1 hour, we try to do 2 hour. If you try to do 3 hour, like try to do little bit stretch and stretch and stretch without breaking. Breaking point पहुंचने का पहले उनको छोड़ देना पड़ेगा. Then otherwise, our whole life becomes imbalance. So this is when you stretch, if you take a little bit of a discomfort in our devotion path, the divine mercy will come on us. That is what acharyas are saying. So slowly, year by year, day by day, month by month, we can start doing little bit more, little bit more, little bit more, little bit more. This way we can get that divine mercy. I know it is very hard, especially we are all working this thing. But our true example, Charu Prabhu is here, Sarath Prabhu is here, we can only take their lotus feet shelter, then we are able to grow
Yeah, absolutely,
gradually.
Prabhu. We can take both their examples and just follow their footsteps, Prabhu. Yeah. They also work,
Correct.
they also stretch. Okay, they also
Yeah,
did
correct.
all these things, family duties and all that. Now they are dedicating their life to Krishna. You're 100% correct.
I mean, Krishna
Just
is basically, Mataji, to answer another way is that one, Krishna is above the Kala. When we surrender, sincerely we surrender. Now, when sincerely we prove, Krishna, I really wanted to serve you. Give me more time. So Krishna makes that miracle in our life. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Why I'm saying is that when I'm just sharing this example, don't take me in other way. So almost more than 10 years, I not work for my company more than 4 hours, to be honest with you. Another 4 hours I am doing for this temple service in the office hours. I'm not doing that. I'm not less in the productive way or something like that. No, I'm one of the key member in our team. But still, Krishna, I don't know how that he makes the miracle just following the Charu Prabhu's footstep. This is a personal experience I'm saying, a small step. Prabhuji is having so much he shared always. That's what I'm saying. I was always thinking that Krishna is above the time. So time will fall in place and you sincerely ask him. That's what I want to say.
Thank you, Kavi. Thank you so much, Bhagavad Madam.
Sharad
If
Prabhuji, you want
no
to share
further
something?
question, yes.
Sharad Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Like we were talking of Sattva Guna, in this material world, the three qualities, Sattva, Raja and Tama, they are always mixed up. And for very little time in a day or in few hours, we'll be in Sattva Guna. The situation keeps on changing. But our aim is to be in Sattva Guna always and try to be in it as far as possible. Like as we have seen so many examples, like in that, say, Brahma Vimohan Leela, or in the when Indra. Now you talk of Indra. Indra, he came to know that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. But later on, when the same Krishna went for the Parijata tree, he fought with him. So because it is because of these things, though he is supposed to be in Sattoguna all the time, he is not. Like I'll tell you another very, very interesting story given in the Puranas. We are talking about the Bhrugumanis. Now, Bhrugamani here in this example given in the Srimad Bhagavatam, he found that Vishnu is the greatest. He has got the best of qualities. But it so happened that he also cursed Vishnu once. I'll tell you the story in a brief. There is time. Now, please remember, Bhrigumuni, he was married to Khyati, and Khyati was one of the 9 daughters of Kardama Muni. That also we have, we know. And Sukracharya, he was a son of Bhrigumuni. And the other people like Chavan Rishi, he is also in the lineage of Bhrigumuni, and even Mrikanda, whose son was Markandeya, then Jamadagni, Parsuram, all these great people, they are in his lineage. Now, the story is like this. What happened? Once Sukracharya, he had gone for penance. He was trying to get the Mruta Samjivani mantra, in which you'll be able to help the people who become dead. That is the Rakshasas, after fighting with the demigods, when they die, he will be able to enliven them. Now, he went there, and by chance, Bhrigumuni, he also was doing penance. Now it so happened that these demons, they were not powerful at that point of time. They didn't have weapons, and they were not in a position to fight. And at that time, what happened? The demigods, they attacked them. And when they attacked them, they came to meet Sukracharya, but Sukracharya had gone for doing penance. Bhrigumuni was also not there. That's why they prayed to Khyati that please save us. Now, Khyati, she told Indra and the other demigods that the demigods should not do this at this point of time when they are very weak, the demons are very weak. But the demigods, they didn't listen to Bhrigumuni. And then what Khyati did, by her yogic powers, she increased her size, and she wanted to devour all the demigods, including Indra. Now the demigods, they didn't have any the other way but to run to Vishnu. Then they went to Kir Sagar, they approached Vishnu, and Vishnu, without thinking anything, he sent his Sudarshan Chakra and cut the head of Khyati. Now Khyati was dead. Now then Bhrigumuni came. When Bhrigumuni came, when he saw Khyati dead, he was very much aggrieved. Then he made a solemn promise that if I have not done any adharma in my complete lifetime, and if I am pure, then Khyati will be alive. And he put the head on the body, and Khyati was alive. Now, then what happened? Bhrigumuni, he said, now I will curse Vishnu, because without any rhyme and reason, he had killed my wife. What was the reason? The demons, they had come to Khyati, and it was her duty to protect them, and she was trying to protect. And moreover, she is the wife of a Brahmana. But Vishnu, he said all these things, they are applicable to you people only. It is not applicable to me. This curse, this is not applicable to me. Then what Bhrigumuni did, he did penance. He did so much penance that even Shiva and Brahma, they also got frightened, and all the demigods, they came to Lord Vishnu and prayed to him. He said, you please accept the curse, Otherwise, the whole universe will get destroyed. And at the end, Vishnu, he had to accept the curse. What was the curse? The curse was that because you have brought grief to me, you will take birth in the material world, and your wife will be stolen by the Rakshasas. That's what it happened in the Ramavatar. Like all these things can happen because we got swayed from, even if we are in the path of Sattva. And please remember that we cannot be in any one guna all the time, but our endeavor should be to be in Krishna consciousness, and that is what is Sattva. And when we remember the Lord, we are talking about Him, we are hearing about Him, then the other gunas are away from us. That is what we should learn in this from this story, and proceed accordingly. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Very nicely described and explained all the things. And another very great story we will be hearing tomorrow. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much, Sharad
Thank you
Prabhu,
so
adding
much,
always.
Very,
Prabhuji.
very nicely explained.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna,
प्रभु जी मैं एक
Prabhu.
बात शेयर करना चाहती हूँ, कर सकती हो राजीव प्रभु जी?
हाँ बोलिए मतलब।
प्रभु जी अभी हम चैतन्य भागवत पढ़ रहे हैं, स्टडी कर रहे हैं, तो उसमें ये सेम स्टोरी आई थी भृगु मुनि की। तो जो ब्रह्म संहिता का जो फर्स्ट वर्स है, ईश्वर परम कृष्ण
ईश्वर परम कृष्ण।
सच्चिदानंद, वो जो श्लोक है वो चैतन्य भागवत में बता रहे हैं कि वो श्लोक भृगु मुनि ने दिया था। जब वो
वाह।
टेस्ट करके वापिस आए ना, तभी जब भी सब सेजिस ने बोला कि आपने क्या टेस्ट किया और क्या निकला रिजल्ट, तो जब भी वो इतने भावावेश में भक्ति वेश में आ गए थे, तो तभी उस श्लोक का उन्होंने दिया है। तो ब्रह्म संहिता में जो फर्स्ट श्लोक है वो गिवन बाय भृगु मुनि, वो हमने पढ़ा
Very
अभी।
well.
यस प्रभु
So
जी,
nice, Mataji. Okay.
थैंक यू प्रभु जी।
Very good.
Good. Yes, Prabhu. Sanjay Prabhu, what are you?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Sharad Prabhu, Rajiv Prabhu, very wonderful class. What stuck to me was the comment like you make last week, like hearing is the essence, right? Yeah. Am I audible, Prabhu?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Hearing is the path, and I think what was that? Hearing is a
Hearing
journey.
shows the path.
Hearing is the path. Hearing shows the path. That's so wonderful, Prabhu. And yeah, the pastime from Sharad Prabhu were wonderful. So thank you. Was like a very enlivening listening to your class, and also the
No problem.
questions you answered what Mataji asked. I did not have that question, but that's very right. Like we spend so little time as compared to what we should. So how do I think what you
Yeah,
said is right?
that's
Like,
what Acharya also said, that one. Charu Prabhu also says it. Bhakti should not become the part of life. Life should become part of bhakti.
part of it.
That's what they said,
Yes, yes, yes.
So,
But yeah,
so
Prabhu, please share that the secret of how you can manage only in 4 hours. I'm
I don't
struggling
know,
with
Prabhu,
that. Right. So,
what my manager wants, I'll give that one. So another few hours, I try to study this thing, Prabhu.
That is
Temple work.
exactly what's happening for me, Prabhu. So much of work, more and more work is happening, Prabhu. I don't
Yes.
know. I just need to pray Krishna, Prabhu. I think Krishna and devotees.
Correct, Prabhu. That's what.
so you are in office for 7-8 hours, but 4 hours you do the work, 4 hours you do reading also. Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. And you have to go
2-3
to
hours
office
minimum
or
I spend to office work, temple work.
When I was working in my lab, think sometime in the lab, a lot of experiments being done, right? So a lot of cooking and things happens there. So when that thing is being done, you cannot do anything right else, So that time I used to do work on my lessons and things like that in that time. So see, one might say that I'm avoiding my work and spending my time on this bhakti process or things like that. Maybe that's not fair, but actually that's not the case because I was doing with utmost honesty my work. So in the experiment, when you put something there, and you need to eat or something like that you have to do. So that time you cannot do, you need to wait for that. So waiting and doing nothing, I was rather doing my work. So that is the way to do. So when he says these 4 hours he works, actually he's working with full honesty, but while he's doing that, he's engaging in these things. So his work is connected with bhakti. Somehow he's connected that. Ultimately, bhakti is something, whatever things you're
Absolutely.
doing, connect with it, dovetail it. Prabhupada used to go
Yeah, no?
the word dovetailing it. That's what you do that.
Yes, Prabhu.
So
I mean,
this is
basically,
very, very
compares to, I'm not, whatever the, we need to give the task, so whatever the delivery has to be done, it has to be done. So I'm not compromising with what the employer wants. It is already done, taken care. So in the 8 hours work, something is going to happen. So that is what a few hours I'll try to spend this bhakti process in the office itself.
no, Prabhu, no doubt on our integrity. Right? In all the devotees, we
Yeah,
are,
yeah.
one thing is common, we are honest to what they want, but this is amazing. I think this is more about your dedication and intelligence, right? What others may do
No,
in
nothing.
7 hours,
Just,
you
It's
are able
wonderful.
to.
It's a
So,
wonderful idea. I liked it very much. You go to learn a new verse, paste it on your bottle of water, water bottle. I think that's an
probably,
excellent idea.
maybe, yeah, maybe, maybe have that mercy, like, depending on which verse you are learning, can you put that in the forum, then we can follow
correct,
that.
Prabhu. Yeah, yeah. Every week you can change once you learn the words, you can change another
No,
printout. You
like,
can
as
write
of
it.
now, which verse you are focusing on, like, which was the one you have?
You must be focusing many verses, I'm sure.
No, yesterday I was reading that one Sthana Bilashya that Dhruv Maharaj verse I was learning, Prabhu, in the
Okay.
Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela. Sthana Bilasi Sthitati Sthana Bilasi स्थितोऽहं यं प्राप्तवान् देवमुनीन्द्रगुह्यं काचन विचिन्नापि दिव्यारत्नं स्वामिन् कृतार्थोऽस्मि वरं न याचे. So I thought I'm hankering for the piece of a glass, but you have given me the diamond. That's what Dhruv Maharaj, when he seen that Lord, that's what he praised that one. That verse I was learning, Prabhu.
Very nice. Thank you, Prabhu. That's so wonderful. Thank you, Chara Prabhu. Thank you, Sarah Prabhu. Very
Thank you.
wonderful.
Thank
प्रभु
you
जी
very much.
दूसरी भी एक युक्ति है कि घर में जितने भी रूम है हमारे वहां पे एक ब्लैक बोर्ड लगा देना चाहिए और उसमें हमें डेली एक एक श्लोक जो आज का श्लोक ऐसे करके भी कर सकते हैं प्रभु
Correct.
जी मेरी एक
I
फ्रेंड
seen
है वो
Mataji.
घर में करते हैं और छोटे बच्चे हैं उनको कंपलसरी वो पढ़ना है तो जो भी रूम में जाएंगे जितनी भी रूम है उसमें एक एक ब्लैक बोर्ड छोटे छोटे और हर रोज एक एक श्लोक तो बच्चे बहुत
Correct.
अच्छे से सीख पाएंगे उसमें भी
You know that when I was teaching this Madhurya Kadambini, there's a Vruksha tree at different branches from Shraddha to Prema. So that's what I did that. I blew up that picture, 4 feet long picture, and I pasted it on my door, my bedroom door. So every time I coming out of bed, I could see that thing. So immediately I remembered that Madhurya Kadambini, the tree, Shraddha to Prema, So somehow you have to do something like that. And main idea is to, Narad Muni, yene kene prakarane. Somehow or
Yeah.
other you engage yourself in your bhakti process.
Yeah.
Somehow or other you create a situation that you get to remember Krishna.
Yes.
That's what the name of bhakti is all about.
Yeah. Always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna.
Yes.
Yes, and we should discount when our mind goes elsewhere. The mind, its job is to go here and there. There is no doubt about it, and it is so difficult to control. It is immaterial. But we should keep on doing this and try to remember him so that even at the end, also without any effort, we will be able to remember him. Or if we are not able to remember him, he will remember us. That he has promised. But the balance of the things we have to do throughout our life.
So that's why Prabhupada translated bhakti as devotional service. It's a service attitude. So now I think that we have reached to the end of the time, and I really congratulate you, compliment Rajiv Prabhuji for his unique way of delivering a class. That I enjoyed very much. Very unique way he has that, So with that, Raksha Mataji, may I ask you to do the Nashua prayer, please?
Yes, yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam to all devotees, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai ho. Namaste Narasimhaya, Namaste Narasimhaya, Praladadayine, Praladadayine, Hiranyakashipurvakshaha, Hiranyakashipurvakshaha, Shilatankanakalaye, Shilatankanakalaye, Ito Narasimha, Parato Narasimha, Ito Narasimha, Parato Narasimha, Yato Yato Yami Tato Narasimha, Yato Yato Yami Tato Narasimha, Bahir Narasimha, हृदये नरसिंहा बहिर नरसिंहा हृदये नरसिंहा नरसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपदे तव करकमलवरे नाथम् अद्भुत श्रृंगार दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृङ्गाम् केशवधृता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय हो नरसिंहदेव 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 जय हो नरसिंहदेव जय हो प्रहलाद महाराज प्रहलाद महाराज प्रहलाद महाराज जय हो प्रहलाद महाराज जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव श्री श्री लक्ष्मी नरसिंह भगवान की जय हो श्री भक्त शिरोमणि प्रहलाद महाराज की जय हो श्री प्रभुपाद की जय हो सर्व डिवोटी की जय हो हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे थैंक यू प्रभु जी दंडवत प्रणाम टू ऑल
जय हो रक्षा माता जी जय हो टू
हरि बोल प्रभु जी
Yes. Hare Krishna
Thank you,
Mataji.
everyone.
Thank you,
So we
Mataji.
again look forward to
Raksha
we all
Mataji.
look forward to Rajiv Prabhu's class tomorrow. Hari Bol. Thank you.
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare
Dandavat Pranam to all.
Hari Bol Prabhuji, Dandavat
Hare
Pranam.
Krishna. Thank you.